Join us now, the most decorated Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps. He serves as a mentor for the Colgate Optimism Project. Michael, it's great to see you. Boy, this has been a tough year for optimism, hasn't it, in so many different ways. I think this project probably comes at the right time. Lay it out a little bit for us and why you think we need it right now.
I mean, you said it yourself. It's been a challenging year and extremely challenging to stay optimistic. So, I think when I first heard about what Colgate was doing with these 6 team members, I look at them as kids, but honestly, what they're doing does not make them seem like kids. They're doing unbelievable work in their community that is bringing so much positivity to them during this time. I feel like we can all seem to focus on a lot of the negative. But, I think one of the things that, for me personally, when I look back at my career, I tried to focus on the things that I could control. And when I see these kids or these members doing what they're doing, that's exactly what they're doing. They obviously have challenges. They obviously have difficulties, but they are blasting through these barriers and making significant change. And it's really impressive to watch.
So we're talking about some of these Gen Z leaders that you guys are focusing on. I'm curious, though, you touched on finding optimism in dark times that you've talked about openly yourself. What do you find to be the best avenue to being optimistic in a time like we're in right now, where it's hard to look around and feel good about things?
I think we're all going through some kind of challenge, and that's I think something that we should all realize and understand. It's not, there aren't some people that are having grand old times. We're all going through this. So, I think if we can find little small ways to continue to go through our routine that we've always had, for me, I'm a huge believer of routine. So I'm working out every day. I'm spending time with the boys. I'm working. There are little small steps that help me be me. And I think those are the things that I'm trying to force myself to keep doing. And I think that's something we can all do. It's difficult not having that social interaction, but we're chatting virtually. So, it's something that we've all had to deal with, and this change and this unknowingness and I don't know, man. It's challenging, brutal, it's hard, but yeah, I mean, there are ways through it. And I think these members are showing us that and showing everybody that. And we do have so many positive things to look at in this world. And we can get through these things together.
Yeah, and it's hard not to know where the end is. With the beginning of this, we thought it was a couple of weeks, then became a couple of months, and now we're going to come up on a year here shortly. Mike Barnicle's here with a question for you. Mike?
Michael, the people participating in this, what are they doing specifically to bring a little light into the darkness that seems to envelop so many of us today, given the COVID virus? What are they doing, and how were they recruited? How did you find them?
That's an answer I can't. I don't know how they were recruited. I know that some of them are providing meals. Some of them are providing comic books. Some of with stories that give you, I don't know if hope is the right word, but give you that feel good, that we can do good in the future. We can do things moving forward that are going to make change. I think back to myself as a kid and dreaming as big as I could possibly dream. And that's what I see in these members. I see these members who aren't afraid to, as I said, to bust through a barrier. So, being able to help out where it's needed so much right now, it's truly, like I said, I can't say enough. It's remarkable to watch.
Michael, one of the effects, of course, of this pandemic that we're talking about here is the postponement of the Olympics by a year. We certainly hope they have them this summer in Tokyo. It becomes 2021 instead of 2020. But what is the impact on an athlete at that level? If you can put yourself back into that moment where you're training and trying to peak for an event, and then it's pushed back a year, what does that mean for an elite Olympic athlete?
I would say the biggest challenge they're having is probably mentally, just because we work in that time frame, we know, every quad comes around and we're going right back into an Olympic season. So, I think it's changing that focus, because in my opinion, I think it takes 4 years to mentally and physically prepare for an Olympics. So, having that extra year, having another year to kind of throw in there, I think it's almost could be looked at as a positive. You have a lot more opportunities to maybe change some of those things that you have leading into the Olympics to make sure that you give yourself that best chance.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.